Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with UK saxophonist and session musician Justin Swadling. We caught up with him about his newest and latest 2020 CD, Dreamer, on 33 Records. It will be out on March 20, 2020, and this album continues his ambitious recording catalog, blending lush writing with the latest production techniques. He's continuing an association with the String Quartet and introducing some of the jazz scene's most renowned artists and a great product. He opens up about this and so much more, so please get to know this project and dig this interview, my friends. Justin, thank you for reaching out to the program. I'm looking forward to talking to you about your new material.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me about it. I've been feverishly trying to help the label, to do some promo and stuff like that, which is always kind of quite a laborious task. But it's just nice to kind of talk about the product and let people know what we've been up to, I guess.
Without a doubt. So 33 Records is going to release your newest album on March 20, 2020, The Dreamer. Talk to me about this project and how you feel about it.
It's quite different from the last album we put out. That was with a string quartet, myself on saxophone. This is with a full band, a wonderful lineup of guys, a guitar, bass, drums, and a great guest vocalist, Emma Smith. And the Piatti Quartet, interestingly, who I did the last album with, they also are on the album doing some live strings, which of course doesn't really happen very much in the business anymore, so it's kind of a rare treat to do a proper string session with them. It's 4 brand new tracks, 2, as I mentioned, have a guest vocalist on, so quite a departure from the last album, but really exciting to make.
So how did this new approach at this album evolve? I mean, I know that things don't get cookie cutter and things change over time, but why did you plan on going this different way with a band and a vocalist and kind of this newer sound?
Since I released the last album, which was probably about 5 years ago now, what I've been working on professionally has been quite different. So I've spent a lot of time working in the studio, either doing recordings for people on saxophone or doing mixing and mastering, sort of production services. But I've also been working with a lot of artists as well. That has given me a new kind of perspective on things and how they go about, promoting albums and just go the creative process, I guess. And that's just influenced, where I wanted to take my own stuff next.
You got about a month before this album comes out. What kind of touring, what kind of promo, what are you doing to get this newest album out there?
This is, again, different to the last album in the sense that we're just doing a digital release for this. So we're spending quite a lot of time on Spotify and Apple Music, getting familiar, I guess, with how music is distributed now. It's kind of completely different. Back in the day you'd make a CD or a record, and people are still doing that. In fact, I saw somebody a couple of weeks ago at a gig that was selling tapes. I mean, people really do love the analog thing still, but digital music, in terms of reaching everyone worldwide, is the perfect medium, really. So we wanted to spend a lot of time doing that and producing a product that would work really well on digital release. And in terms of actually promoting the album, we've got some shows at the Pizza Express in London in the summer with a variety of different guest artists. So that'll be fun. It'll be nice to actually play the stuff live. And we're also thinking in the pipeline of potentially having a live album released off the back of those shows later in the year.
The thing that was immediate when I clicked on this and previewed it was the album artwork is really, really good looking. And my question to you is this: the name, The Dreamer, is this about you? Who's the dreamer?
To a certain point, I guess it probably is about me. I mean, no matter how much I try and write stuff from different perspectives, and inevitably you do always, whether you're aware of it or not at the time of writing music, you do tend to draw from your own experiences and things in life. So yeah, I guess most musicians are probably dreamers to a certain extent, certainly chasing some kind of dream that they have in their mind with their music. So yeah, I guess it's a bit of both, really.
So my final question is this: what do you want the listener that downloads this and that gets engaged with this album to feel? How do you want this to affect them? What do you want them to get?
Well, I suppose as a sax player, it's a fairly new thing for me to get into writing parts, but not just for saxophone, but for writing for rhythm section, for writing for strings. So I guess if people are enjoying the overall picture, I mean, it's very much the attitude I took with this album, that I didn't want to make something that was just wholly saxophone the entire way through. I still wanted it to be complete compositions where I was one member of the band, and I've tried to make sure that my playing is limited to what I feel the record needs. And there are other great soloists. We've got a wonderful guitarist, Mike Outram. He takes some breathtaking soloists, and Emma Smith on vocals. She's doing her thing, bringing her flavour to a couple of the tracks. So hopefully it's a collective of musicians that, although they're playing my music, we're all bringing something to the show.
Beautiful. Justin, thank you for reaching out to Neon Jazz. It's always a pleasure, and good luck with The Dreamer.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in the UK, New York City, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Justin for his time, music, and energy. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino in the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.